Come to the stage, very special treat, the very lovely and the very funny Jessica Kinney, everybody.
Hey, hello, how's everybody doing? Give it up for all the other comics tonight. You guys having fun? So I was thinking about, do you ever wonder where sayings come from? You know, like half a dozen of one, six of the other, or that's the way the cookie crumbles. Or how far down you gotta bury your finger so the chicken don't find it, you know? Which, I recently found out that last one, I guess, is just something I say with my family. And it originated from my great-grandmother, who, when she was young, was playing with an axe and a stump like you do, and her little brother was going around and like counting the little notches in the stump, and she's like, stop doing that, I'm gonna cut your finger off, you know, and he kept doing it, and she cut his finger off on accident, of course, but they lived in a really poor town. They didn't have electricity or running water, so no car, the hospital was hours away, so they just kind of wrapped up the nub and had a little finger funeral in the backyard, and later that day, they saw the chicken running around with something, and its beak, and they caught it and found it they had buried up, kind of gotten the finger in its mouth, so hence how far down you gotta bury the finger so the chicken don't find it. Which turns out is oddly pretty accurate for my first sexual experience. Which, speaking of sexual experiences, okay, I just recently went to the gynecologist, got my lady parts checked, and normally when you go, they say, how many partners have you been with in the last year? That's a pretty, you're prepared for that question. Well, I guess if you go to a new place, they say how many in your entire life. And I was not ready for that question, so I was like, I'm sorry, did you say in my entire life? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I was at kind of a weird place. I was like, why, do I lie? I don't want to lie, it's my doctor, and I don't want to say 3 if it's more like 30, because she's going to be down there in 5 minutes and be like, yeah, 3 at one time, maybe. She's going to know. But see, I appreciate blunt honesty, and I think in dating we should be more honest with each other up front, I think dating apps should have 1 picture, 2 descriptors, and a song, and that's all you get to represent yourself to the world, right? So you get a guy, he's cute, little jockey, he's got a little cock smile on his face that says big dick, small brain, right? And his song is I wanna fuck you like an animal. It's like, yeah, okay, I know what I'm gonna get with that guy, like a jackrabbit. I'm not gonna come, he's gonna pass out. But you know what he wants the sex, he's putting it out there, right? Or you get kind of a cute guy, he's got glasses, he puts like a Superman pose picture up, and he's got like the Revenge of the Nerds violin solo. Like lover and gamer, like you know what you're getting with that guy, right? Or I know you guys are wondering what I would be. Obviously I'd have probably a picture like, ooh, like that, and it would just say like fresh and easy, and my song would be, and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And that's true, because half the time I have no fucking idea what's going on. Which partly comes with depression, which is super fun and hilarious, so I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. And I don't want to brag or anything, but I have it. And actually I have super clinical depression on one side of my family and paranoid schizophrenia on the other, so I'm single. And I was trying, I've been talking to people a lot about depression, and they don't necessarily understand it, they don't have it, and I was trying to think of a good sort of like parallel, and I was like, it's like being best friends with Hitler. Like, that's what you feel like when you're really depressed, right? You're like, I'm a piece of shit, the whole world hates me, everyone probably wants me dead anyway. I mean, I'm not the worst person, I'm not Hitler, but I'm like Hitler's best friend. So you're like, it wouldn't even matter if I was gone. But sometimes humor can kind of come out of that. So, like this one time, I was really upset, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch something on Netflix to get my mind off things. And I'm trying to plug in my computer, and I had just gotten a new computer case. I loved it, and it had my favorite saying on it: "Not all those who wander are lost." You know, it's a nice, beautiful saying. And I go to move my TV, and I scrape it over the top of my computer, and I'm like, fuck! Like, I just got this. I love those words, and I look down, and not all letters were scraped off. Like, the two words "not all" were scraped off. So it just said, "Those who wander are lost." Which now is funny, but at the time you're like, fuck you, computer. You mean you hate me? I know I hate me. No, you hate me. But it's fine. You know, you get over it, you move on, you find ways. And the last thing is I'm just gonna leave you with a tale of my worst day at Disneyland. And I love Disney. I've gone every year. I've had a pass for 10 years. It's my happy place, right? And so we go there. I go there with my friend, and we decide to have like a half a thing of Fireball before we go in. You know, we're keeping it classy. And then I was like, you know what? A really good ride to go on first is Tower of Terror, where you just go up and down the whole time. And about halfway through, while we're waiting in line, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this right now. I don't think I want to do this anymore. And then I woke up in Anaheim Police Department. That was my worst day at Disney. So it wasn't until later on when I got the police report back. I had no idea what happened. My friend left me. She kind of knew, but nobody really knew. And it wasn't until I got the police report back that I actually knew what happened. And apparently I'd found myself in the employee parking lot, which is weird because I didn't drive there. And I was trying to get into someone's car, I guess. And they kept saying, we know she was wasted, because she kept saying there are many Jessicas. And see, the thing is, I was there with a Jessica. So I think I was just trying to be like, look, I'm a Jessica. There's just more than one Jessica. There's many Jessicas out there. I'm gonna be a Jessica. And they fucking hauled me away. Yes, I also tried to suck off Donald Duck, but that's irrelevant. Thanks, guys. Thank you. That's my time.